Hello everyone and welcome to Flickering Myth, an extension of the website flickeringmyth.com. My name's EJ Marino and right now we are diving in to a brand new review. Yes, we are talking about The Kitchen. I can count on one hand how many movies surprised me this year. While I think movies have been good and there's been some bad movies, there hasn't been a lot of movies that shocked me. The Kitchen is a movie that shocked me because I enjoyed this way more than I should. For a movie that stars three women who have never been in a movie quite like this. For a film that I'm not a big fan of the mobster, mafioso genre. There was a lot going into this movie that I was expecting to be on. But walking away from The Kitchen, I enjoyed this movie way more than I even think I should have, and way more than I think a lot of people expected. While this doesn't have the intense drama and action of a Scorsese or Michael Mann movie, Andrea Berloff, who is the director of this film, she wrote the movie Straight Outta Compton. She really succeeds with what she intended. She showed me a different world of the crime kind of universe, though this is a graphic novel or a comic book, so there it does have that extra flair, but she really took me to the world of this mafioso, this mob area, and allowed me to fall in love with it. As much as other people do in the other genres, this feels like a mob movie that was made for me, and I really appreciate that. The Kitchen stars Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, and Elisabeth Moss. They play three wives of mobsters who are like, all their husbands go to jail, so these three women have to take over the business, and boy, do they take over Hell's Kitchen. I really liked watching, though it went a little too fast, but I liked watching their rise of power. I went, yeah, I support all they're doing. There's a line Melissa McCarthy has that, you know what, these men have forgotten what family's about, and that's what the mob, as crazy as the mob can get, there is that family at the center, and that's what they're trying to get back to. Now, all three women have different journeys. Melissa McCarthy kind of feels comfortable being the leader. Tiffany Haddish is struggling, her character is struggling to find her place, find her voice, and Elisabeth Moss, oh boy, she goes from like small and timid to a badass woman by the end of it. Each woman has a journey that leads them somewhere different in the mob, and I really enjoy that. I think that was such a refreshing take, because usually, yeah, the wives in mob movies are usually there to be props for the male action or never really get on the action themselves, but not this movie. Each woman has a place in the story, and they use them very well. While I love the acting of the movie, and I thought the direction was strong, I do believe this movie is a bit choppy. There is really no highs and lows. It starts at a 7, and which is a good pace to be, but it just drives at that 7. It really never goes down to like a 5 or some like cooler, calmer moments, but it never gets up to a 10 in intensity, and I do find that to be a little bit boring at times. Maybe it's a problem I have with like mob movies, where it's like, well, here them, they're gonna collect money, and oh boy, that guy owes the money, so let's beat them up. It kind of gets a little like rinse and repeat. That happens often, so maybe that might be a mob movie for me, but I do think this movie has a little bit of a pacing problem. It's not just in the script that I don't think has the highs and lows as it should, it's the editing as well. Things went by very fast. It felt a little bit choppy. It really honestly felt like there was 15 minutes cut out throughout the movie. It's not like they took out one scene or anything like that. They just took out moments in other scenes, or scenes that would fall after another one that would give you a down moment. After you saw something crazy, you want a moment to relax, to really live in that moment. Even if it's good or bad, you never really have that chance here. It just moves on to something crazy. If you liked that scene, well, we're gonna move on. If you didn't like that scene, well, we're gonna move on. So yes, that works in some ways, but I do feel like this goes by so fast, and it doesn't allow me to really get invested and fall in love with the story as I thought I would have. All three women do an amazing job in this. Melissa McCarthy, this is one of her best performances to date. She's believable, she's sexy, she's badass. Everything she has in this role, I have been dying for. I really like Melissa McCarthy. I am like a big supporter of her, but some of her acting choices doesn't make it easy, where it's like, oh yeah, I like her, but no, not that movie, and oh no, not that one. Did you see this one? This is going to be one of those movies that I constantly praise her in because she does so good. But she's not alone. Tiffany Haddish, blows me away here. I thought she was going to get stuck being like the comedic sidekick to all the badass women, but she has a slightly darker turn in this. Tiffany Haddish scares me in this movie. She's power hungry. She's badass. She's there, and I really like her. I thought they handled her so well. Like I said, I thought she was going to be comedic moments, but no, she has none of the funny moments. She's more of the badass moments. Yeah, she'll have like a quick little quippy line that I'm like, yeah, read him. But that's about it, and I like that. I like that I got to fall in love with these two comedic actresses, Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish, in a whole new way, in a very serious way. But speaking of serious, the queen of this movie, at least for me, is Elisabeth Moss. She has the biggest arc as a character. She has the biggest journey as a character. I loved everything about her in this movie. Like, she goes, I don't want to spoil too much, but she is she's getting beaten by her husband. So when he gets locked up, she goes, life's gonna change. And she changes her life. I don't want to say for the better, but she changes it, and I love that growth. I love that change. I'm starting to love Elisabeth Moss more and more. From her great turn in Us this year to The Kitchen, she's been one of my low-key supporting actress MVPs, and she deserves it, because with performances at The Kitchen, yeah, badass. Will this movie be an awards contender? It does feel like a lot of these like mafioso mob movies kind of are made for the awards season. I don't think the film itself, look, I like The Kitchen. I think Andrea Berloff, the director, did a great job writing and directing and adapting this world. But do I think this is like Oscar contender? Do I think this is going to be all the awards? Maybe not the movie itself, but the actresses. I believe Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish will fight for lead actress, while Elisabeth Moss has a great chance at supporting actress. Maybe not for wins. I'm not saying that they're like the best performances I've seen, but to be nominated is an honor, and I think these women should be honored with that because each one does such a great job here. So that was my review of The Kitchen. Well acted, well directed, but a little too choppy. I would give this movie a 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoy this. For fans of the mafia genre, this is for you. For newcomers like me who aren't really in love with the genre, this works on levels for you as well. Thank you so much for tuning into my review of The Kitchen. Make sure you guys comment down below. I want to know all your feelings. Are you excited to see a serious Melissa McCarthy? What about Tiffany Haddish? Let me know all your feelings down below. Make sure you give us a thumbs up because we really like them and YouTube takes them way too seriously. Alright guys, make sure you subscribe as well because we make videos like this every single week, and let's talk about The Kitchen in the comments below.